What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to my channel. I'm back again with another viral TikTok video about ladies cried out and exposing the modeling industry. Like when we see that in the magazines, we don't really know what is going on in there. Like these people really expose them out. Please like, share, subscribe. Thank you.
These are days that I fucking hate being a model. Because I'm never good enough, and I've been modeling since 2014, and I started out as a size 02, doing editorial and runway, and now I'm a size 4'6". And I'm shit on every day because I'm not a skeleton and I'm not unhealthy anymore. I just had a casting, and my feelings were hurt by the producer and the casting director. I see on TikTok everybody wants to be in fashion, everybody wants to model. I'm 5'10", I'm healthy. I suffered with an eating disorder for years, and I finally feel confident at my size. I've gained 35 pounds in the past 5 years, really. And I look great. I'm still thin. Living in this city will make you feel like shit about yourself, and it'll make you feel like you're not enough, and it'll make you feel like you have to live some unhealthy lifestyle to make it. Fuck it. Fuck modeling, fuck fashion, fuck the industry. I'm too small for plus size. I'm too big for whatever the fuck standard size 02 is. I'm telling you, after modeling in this industry since 2014, I'm 22 years old. That was like 7 years ago that I started modeling. I was very young. And I'm telling you, out of all the models I've ever met and worked with on set, it is very rare that being that small is natural. And I don't wish that size were the standard, because those girls who are naturally that thin, good for them. But I'm tired of casting directors making me and girls who are naturally curvy, like I lost my period. Like I'm literally thin. I'm literally small. And I'm not good enough. I'm too big. My stomach, what is wrong with it? They said, you're not wafy enough. Like, we want to see your bones. The shoot is in early December. You can lose some weight. It's fucking 2021, and they're telling me to lose weight for a shoot that is going to release in Barcelona. I'm just fucking done.
Hi, let's start without makeup. My name is Lisa D'Amato, and I'm America's Next Top Model All-Star winner. Was on Cycle 5 as well. I know that people, the fandom, have a real problem with actual facts and like to just judge, and that's a lot of reason why a lot of the girls with trauma don't come forward. All the girls and boys had to sign contracts that said that if they said anything about production publicly or to each other, they can get sued for millions of dollars. What the girls don't know, and of course we're signing it, like why would we talk about production? But the girls also don't know that those contracts are voided when the recording of these programs are done unethically. Void. I came forward about production right after filming America's Next Top Model Cycle 5 on E's True Hollywood Story on America's Next Top Model. And I was like, if they sue me, what are they gonna do? I have nothing. They can't take anything. I realized from that point forward, after I didn't get even threatened with a lawsuit, that they don't give a shit at all. So if you wanna line up my stories, go for it. From 5. So here goes. Let's continue also in letting you guys know that I don't want anything. I don't need anything. I live a beautiful life. I'm married with 2 beautiful kids, and I'm just coming forward so that people understand how disgusting the industry is and how far they will go to ruin your life. Also, I'm incredibly successful. So I don't need people to say that I'm out here for money and to like create lies. Obviously, you don't know who I am. I don't know anyone realer than me. In fact, it's really annoying and lonely. So anyway, let's start with trauma. If anyone has gone through trauma, you know that it is very familiar once you're in it, and it's very easy to go back because it's familiar. And your self-worth goes down and you just get used to it. That being said, I don't think that anyone is in a league like Tyra. She is the queen of abuse. Queen. I feel blessed to even be here to tell you the story after 10 years of therapy. Truly. So thank you for listening to my story. And I also know that the fandom, how are you supposed to know what happened, because it's all behind the scenes. But please don't judge it until you hear. Let the girls have some space to tell their stories. I always have a problem with my right.
And as we get closer and closer, that chance is increasing, which is good news. 77 all the way up to 83. Here's a good jump.
Car picks me up. I show up at the Tyra show. I see some of the other girls from my season. I say hello. I even said hello to Corinne, who was the person that I fought with on the show. But her and I realize now and have made up that this show is just horseshit. America's Next Top Model is just horseshit. We don't know about the Tyra show just yet. I already have my feelings, as you can tell. And I go into makeup, and they tell me that my segment is going to start in like an hour. So they're doing my makeup, and then while I'm almost done with my makeup, I hear a PA talk to another PA like on their walkies and goes, "Put Corinne's dad in room like whatever." I immediately freaked out because me hearing that made me so sad for Corinne, because the one person that has hurt her the most in her life was her dad from our cycle, from Top Model. I knew that. So I'm done with makeup. They're starting to walk me towards the green room and towards the front, and my segment is about to start, and I see Corinne in the green room, and I'm like, "Corinne, they brought your dad here." And I'm trying to warn her. And I remember looking at her, and I'm seeing her over there in the green room, and I'm seeing there's a teleprompter. They're lining me up to go in front of the live studio audience. I see a teleprompter, and I see that they're like making sure that it's like moved away from me. I can tell they're like tilting it the other way. I'm looking at Corinne, and she's talking to somebody in the green room at the same time, and I can see her rolling her eyes and thinking that I'm trying to like ruin her life, like if I made that up, and now she's like mad at me again. And then as soon they line me up, and they're like, "Okay, count to 3 and you go out." The teleprompter, it starts highlighting, and it goes, "Everyone, this is Lisa from Cycle 5 of Top Model. Everyone knows her as being the fun wild child, but what you don't know is that she was sexually molested her entire childhood." They pushed me out into a live studio audience. I remember feeling like an outer body experience, and I think I went into like fight or flight. And when I walked out onto set, I just remember like the audience was looking at me so crazy. I was devastated. I went to the front where Tyra was just sitting there on her stupid fucking couch, and I grabbed the pillows and I started throwing at her. I was throwing them at the audience, was telling everyone to fuck off. I was grabbing the cameras, like the ones that are between the aisles of a talk show. I was grabbing me like, "Fuck you guys." I went bananas, like fucking irate. I lost my mind. If there were chairs that I could actually like pick up and throw, I would have thrown them at the walls, not to hurt people. And then right after that, they grabbed me and locked me in a closet. They locked me in a closet. Okay, here goes the Tyra show. A producer from the Tyra show calls me, and I am already very adamant and do not want to go on even with the invite, even to be on the show with the other contestants from Cycle 5, because it had just aired and I'm getting torn a new asshole, and I realized that they made me look crazy, but nobody knows that they were weaponizing my trauma behind the scenes the entire time. So when the producer calls me and tells me that they want me to talk about my childhood trauma on the show, I said absolutely not. How dare you even ask me? Absolutely not. I have not had therapy, and I'm dealing with a really hard time right now because of Top Model. And so I always put a smile on my face, but I was really, really struggling. Before Top Model, I want you to know that I was with a modeling agency. I was booking 2 jobs a month, an extra grand, 2 grand, 3 grand, 4 grand a month. I had a side hustle, which was a waitress, but I was working. I was doing the fashion weeks. I mean, my hair was dark and it was growing out, if you remember from Cycle 5. That was from me going on tour for like months with Sebastian's hair, and they would do all these like really cool bald zipper head like creations. So now entering the world in this public arena, and not booking gigs that I normally would have was really devastating for me. So I said no. I said I would go on just to be on the show with the rest of the cast, and then after that I was not going to do a private interview on her show unless we just talked about makeup and talked about Top Model. I refused to talk about my childhood trauma. Refused. In case anyone's wondering, I was sexually abused from the time I was in 3rd grade all the way to 7th by my mom's boyfriend, while she also physically abused me on the daily, and I had to hide her eating disorder, which is incredibly devastating as a child. Offered me $700 to do this interview about my childhood trauma. I said absolutely not. Top Model, I thought that when they did the psychological evaluation that you guys were gonna like help me. I didn't think that me exposing all my trauma was gonna be used against me. That shit's fucked up. I'm gonna put on my little cute earrings. So I remember, it was 2 men, one, like both PAs. One was like a little gay guy. I remember he was wearing like one of those like lime green studded belts, remember back then? And I trusted him because he was so nice to me from the very beginning when I got there. And then he's like, here, just walk in here. And he locked me in the closet. I was banging. I'm like, here, you can't lock me in a fucking closet. I was so pissed. From my understanding, they then went on they left my segment and they immediately went to Corinne's segment. And I think, I don't know what happened with her segment, but they did bring out her dad to her. And then after that was over, however long that took, and how long they locked me in a fucking closet, which is actually called kidnapping against my will, they brought me out and they said, Lisa, we promise. They brought me food, they brought me water, they calmed me down. I was so upset. And they said, Tyra says that she will just talk to you about you on the show and like makeup and fashion. And you know, it's the saddest thing. I was like, well, I've already been put through all of this, so if I say no, then I don't get the $700. So I went on, acted normal. The audience must have thought I was crazy. But then I went and just talked to her about Top Model, and then the car drove me home, and that was it. I remember I went back home to my apartment. It was like 3 o'clock like PM, and I opened a can of soup and I ate it. That's what I did. The reason I went back on All Stars is because by then I had so much therapy, and I had found so much love in my life that I came back for revenge. And to fight for my own integrity and my own persona in the public arena and show people who I really was. And I definitely wanted to also show that nobody can ever do that to me again. And definitely no one could hurt me again the way that she had. And on All Stars too, they lied a ton too. That was another thing. I was totally adamant not to go on that show, on the All Stars, but I knew that they couldn't hurt me anymore because I had so much therapy. And yet they still did. They still found their ways to do it. They told me I could go home whenever I wanted. They were fucking liars. But I won. And that's a fact.